What's up, guys? This is Derek from moreplatesmoredates.com with a new video. I'm going to be talking about the truth about abs and ab genetics today. So I just wrote an article on this, and it's going to be linked in the description below. Basically, I just want to talk about the misconception behind getting abs and what it takes to achieve abs in the first place. You know, there's like a common misconception that you need to do, tons of ab work and stuff like that. You need to be doing crunches to build up your abs so they're visible. But a lot of people don't really understand that you already have abs. They're just sitting underneath a big layer of fat if they're not visible. And, not a lot of people are at a low enough body fat percentage to even see them in the first place. And it leads to people doing ridiculous amounts of exercises to try and bring them out. People doing, hundreds of crunches every day after their workout because they think that is the key to making your abs pop out. But when in reality, they're just too fat still. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, abs are made in the kitchen. It's like a really common, popular phrase. And, it couldn't be more true. Even if I was to stop lifting completely, I would still be able to maintain visible abs just by diet manipulation. Obviously I wouldn't be as muscular, but the fact of the matter is having your abs show ultimately comes down to your body fat percentage. So if you're not lean enough, you're not going to see your abs, period, no matter how many crunches you do, no matter how many oblique twists or leg raises you do. You guys need to understand that first and foremost. As far as, getting lean enough for your abs to show in the first place, I've already, I wrote an article a while ago about getting shredded for beginners. I think you guys should give that a read if you don't really understand the, nutrition basics behind, calorie deficits, how to basically operate daily at energy deficit, eat, at a calorie deficit and increase your deficit via increased amounts of cardio as you plateau in your weight loss. So basically, it all boils down to, to quickly cover it, because I've already covered this before, but to just quickly reiterate, basically you need to be in a constant state of fat burning if you want to get your abs to show. So you basically want to eat at a calorie deficit, which is less than the amount of energy your body expends on a daily basis. So when you're eating less calories than your body is expending, that is going to lead to your body dipping into stored fat to, use as its extra source of energy, because it doesn't have enough calories taken in throughout the day to fuel its activities. And the same goes for cardio. If you do cardio, that's just burning more calories and increasing the disparity between your total energy expenditure per day and the amount of calories you're taking in. So as long as you're taking in less calories than you're expending, you're going to be in a fat burning zone. And as you plug away each week, just increasing, the separation between your energy expenditure and your energy intake, you're eventually going to be able to get lean enough to actually have your abs start to show from underneath that layer of fat that you previously couldn't see. Next thing I want to cover is, so if abs are made in the kitchen, is doing direct abdominal training pointless? Some people might say, don't train abs because you're going to get thick, blocky abs or get a big waistline if you do too much abs. Abs are just like another muscle group, just like your forearms, just like your chest, just like your calves, just like your biceps. I don't believe they need a lot of training. It's a small muscle group, but you should still, they get hit indirectly, through stabilization and exercises like deadlifts and stuff. But, at some point throughout the week, you should dedicate some time to doing some isolated ab work, not just because of, the development for the physical appearance of them, but if you train all your body parts, hard, and then you don't touch your abs at all, you're going to create a muscular imbalance, and that puts you at, it makes you prone to injury, basically. And you don't want to have that. If you require an exercise that needs your abs to stabilize you throughout the exercise. If you have weak abs because you never train them, like that's putting you in a really vulnerable state where you could injure yourself in the gym. And also, when you train your abs through isolated ab work, you can induce hypertrophy like you would any other muscle group. So when your muscle gets bigger, aka when your abs get bigger through isolated ab work, you are going to be able to see them easier through the fat. So, like, obviously, you still need to be lean enough for them to be visible, but basically, it's going to be easier to see them through a same amount of fat because they're going to be thicker from increased development by training them directly, if that makes any sense. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, the positioning. The positioning of your abs. Okay, you guys need to understand the positioning of your abs, like the inserts and where they lie, like on your stomach region, is 100% genetic. So, like me, for example, I have really asymmetric abs. Like they don't really line up like the classic traditional six pack. And like I've had like when I've done competitions and stuff, and people are trying to give me constructive criticism. A lot of times they say stuff like, "Oh, you should do this kind of an exercise to develop your right side of your abs more to match them up to your left." And I'm like 5% body fat. I can't get any leaner, so they're showing as much as they're gonna show. And if I'm training them, like just because your abs might not be a genetic strong point for you, and if that's not the case, there's nothing you can really do about it. You can train them hard, just like you would any other muscle group. You can get as lean as you can, but other than that, like if you don't have, like the perfect like block chiseled out six pack and you're like 4% body fat, like it's probably not in the cards for you to have like, that perfect fitness model, symmetrical, like lineup of like six abs, right? It's not really common for an individual to have. If you look at any bodybuilding competition, the way their abs lie on their body, it's like slightly different between each individual. And no matter what you do, like you can develop them more and you can get leaner, but other than that, you're not going to be able to change the way they sit on your body. So if you have one ab that like sits higher than it does on the other side of your body, like you can't alter that by doing like isolated like right like oblique crunches or something like that to like move it down. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's understood as well, because that's kind of a common misconception as well. Like some guys with the best abs I've ever seen that I've competed against, they literally have never trained abs in their life once. Like they're just so lean and have such like genetically gifted muscle inserts that it just looks unreal. But that's just them individually and their genetics. So that brings me down to making the most out of the genetics you have. You need to understand they respond just like any other body part, so you need to train them adequately and thoroughly each week. You don't need to like crank the shit out of them, but you should still train them a couple to a few times a week if you can. As far as if you want to get leaner faster, there's not a lot of products on the market that are really worth getting. As far as like for a fat burner or something like that, I've had some questions about what I would recommend. As far as a natural one, like as long as it speeds up how many calories you can burn per day, that's pretty much all you want in a product. If you're looking to make your abs pop more, the more calories you burn a day, the easier it is to cut into a calorie deficit, the more fat you're going to burn each day. So you just want a product that's basically going to do this effectively. And if it has, appetite suppression qualities as well, that's just an extra fringe benefit. The product I'm going to link below is my favorite natural fat burner. It's called Red Burner. It increases your metabolism quite a bit, gives you a nice energy boost, like kick in the ass when you're lethargic and tired from eating in a calorie deficit, and it'll help suppress your appetite, which is all too important when you're trying to prevent binging on your diet, which can be, you know, really easy to do once you get like the cravings are going to kick in once you start getting really lean. So yeah, that's about it, guys. The article is linked below if you want to check it out. Please subscribe, comment, and thanks, guys. Till next time.